This model year 17 got recovered in with failure to select gears. After various repeated attempts, it dropped into neutral, but what was causing it? If we look at the fault codes, we can see gate selection faults. With this vehicle still under warranty and the fault codes pointing to the actuator being at fault, we will be changing the gate selection module as advised. But it doesn't mean we can't go through the various components involved in this Traxon gearbox. I've also added the wiring information for the ECU later in the video. With the catwalk off, we can access the Traxon ECU and get this removed. The lid isn't pressurised like AS-tronic. Traxon was ZF's answer to the replacement of the AS-tronic and was fitted to vehicles from 2017 onwards. This transmission delivered a lighter weight, faster shifting and less internal resistance for improved fuel economy, and is the only option now available for next generation DAF trucks. So we have three modules here and we can go through what they are and the functionality now. First up at the front we have the clutch position sensor. This measures the clutch travel and is used for determining the clutch open, clutch close and transfer point. It is connected with the fly lead to the Traxon ECU at the top. The clutch actuator wiring loom is part of the clutch actuator. The clutch actuator controls the clutch based on a measured position from the position sensor. Next we have the valve module. This has the task of supplying air to the pistons that move the shift rails. It provides pneumatic control of the clutch actuator and regulates the air pressure to it. It also measures the air pressure. It also houses all the solenoids which work the splitter group, gears, low range and high range, transmission brake, clutch close and clutch open. This is the sensor module. It houses the input shaft speed sensor and senses the movement from the main gear, splitter and range group positions. Then we have what I need to change, which is the gate selection actuator. A 12-speed transmission uses two main gear shift forks, and therefore two gate selection positions. The position is determined by the detection of the differential inductivity in the mechanical movement of the gearbox gate selector. This is done in the electromagnetic gate selector actuator, which is connected to the shift fork on the shift rail of the main transmission. If you haven't already, why not think about subscribing for notifications on all the latest content? And if you're enjoying this, why not drop a like on the video? What I'm after here is the torque figure for the gate selection actuator, which I remember adding in the very first video I did for this channel. I'm happy to say my editing skills have improved a lot since then. If you want to have a laugh at it, I'll leave the link at the end of the video. With the gate selection actuator fitted and torqued up, we can get the ECU back onto the gearbox and get that torqued up too. This lead here is the output shaft speed sensor. It is a dedicated signal for Traxon and is connected to the Traxon ECU via an external loom. Lastly, as promised, we have the main gearbox loom and plug. The large connections, as you can imagine, are for the main power and grounds for the gearbox, whereas the other connections are for CAN communication. With this now plugged in, we can now bang some cable ties on to hold the loom in place and think about refitting the catwalk. As usual, drop a comment down below and I'll see you in the next one.